when I came in as an instruction, as a trainer, I went through accelerated learning, and it was very good. It was very inspiring. The concepts are wonderful, and I could see how they applied to my life and my own learning in the past. But as an instructor, the way that courses were written, and at the time I was told to facilitate, I didn't see many opportunities to really apply the principles. So I always wanted designers to be able to go through it. Now coming through the course as a designer, we're dealing with the idea of applying the ideas. We're not just dealing with the what, I already knew that for the most part, but dealing with how. And struggling with those old ideas that we have. We have, all of us, even from all these different groups that we're in here, have so many different concepts of a pretty standard form of design and what it is, because it's what we've been doing for years with small tweaks and small adjustments and improvements. And to really sit down and struggle with the viability of those ideas and dealing with the truth that, when we get down to it, we know that what's in accelerated learning is the way to go. We know it, and we also have to struggle with that we haven't been doing it. That's tough, and it takes time for us to walk through the ideas, but it really enabled everyone in here to be able to see how it applies directly to projects that they're working on right now and how they can take it back. And that's huge.
Yeah.
I think the fundamental concept that's very inspiring is the idea of the geodesic model. The idea that everything is connected and everyone is connected, and there's not this rigid structure that says, I am an instructor, and I am a designer, and I am a student, and we each have our predefined roles, and we're going to stay in our lane, and we're going to do what we're supposed to do, and not a drop more. And if you try and come into my lane, then I might just have to hit you. I mean, you just have to remember your place. That's huge, and that spills over into everything. Because when we start dealing with the reality that those walls need to come down for us to be effective, it extends beyond learning services, our organization, and the instructors and designers, and those participants in our classrooms. But it extends to the entire AT&T organization when you're dealing with managers and how they relate to the representatives on the floor, and how upper management deals with those managers beneath them. When everyone becomes more interconnected and works together, there's that much more operating efficiency. There's more ideas coming around, more learning happening, more gets done. And it's such a huge concept. It seems very simple, but obviously we talked about it at length because it applies in so many different ways. And I've been fortunate to see it at work in a project that we've recently done. So it's very exciting, and it's inspiring to be able to do more of it. I think to get to the most value of accelerated learning, that's a tough question. The first thing is having an open mind, which is easy to say. I mean, it's very easy to say, but everyone will have struggles with what you're accustomed to and how you were raised and how you went to school and how you've been trained to do your job here at AT&T, and regardless of that training, how you've been doing your job. There's such a tremendous bias, and being willing to accept that things may not be quite the way that you imagine they are, and being willing to accept that radical change is sometimes necessary. If you have that, then I think you're ready to come to accelerated learning and actually start seeing it apply. But without that, it's very easy to sit back and say, oh, well, that wouldn't work here. My manager wouldn't let that. My client wouldn't let it. It's easy to say no. It's hard to open your mind, but if you do, you'll get the value.